Alright, legends, welcome along to Here's Rodder's Reviews. We're getting into some more of Transformers Generation 1 in this episode again. This is the Trans-Europe Express. This is a great little episode, completely random as well. As we all know, the Transformers in Generation 1 was nothing more really, as far as the owners were concerned. It was nothing more than a half-hour, 25-minute to half-hour toy commercial for Transformers. So, you know, continuity and all that sort of thing was never huge. And, you know, a lot of the characters got damaged in a major way that should have killed them completely. And the show never happened. There's a few examples of that in this episode. The Stunticons going after some of the Autobots in this Trans-Europe race that's happening. Megatron in this episode, he's looking for the Pearl of Bahudin, and he is rampaging through Istanbul to find the one person that knows where it is. And after interrogating a sage, I'm not even going to attempt to say this guy's name, because it's an Istanbul name that I've got no business in trying to pronounce that name. Megatron finds this sage and works out where this Pearl of Bahudin may be, and he kidnaps a archaeologist, Professor Terranova. Now that's an easier word to say. Megatron finally zeroes in on the location in the Gatala Valley and has the Constructicons digging to retrieve it. Meanwhile, the Europa 2000 is underway, and among the drivers of the race are the Autobots Blue Streak, Bumblebee, Wheeljack, Sunstreaker, Sideswipe, Trax and Smokescreen. They're hoping to win the $1 million grand prize to give to charity. In the competition, there's a guy called Augie Chani, America's top driver, whose car is a custom designed from Simultac Industries, if memory serves. It's a very experimental car, and the engine is made from a new energy resistant alloy, and the Autobots have been instructed to keep an eye on Augie. Optimus Prime reckons that because this car has this alloy in it, it might attract the attention of the Decepticons, so that's why the Autobots are in this race, to keep an eye on this guy, keep him safe. But this guy is an ass. He's out to win. He doesn't care who he steps on. He doesn't give a damn about charities. As far as he's concerned, charity begins at home. He wants to win the race and get the money for himself. The race begins, and of course, because this guy Augie, being the selfish sort, like, he's just turning everybody against him. At one point during the race, Bumblebee actually stops his car and drags him out of it and threatens him. Well, not exactly threatens him, but just, you know, has anybody ever taught you to have a bit of manners sort of deal. Aware of the proximity to the finish line, Megatron sends the Stunticons to take out the Autobots and steal Augie's car. It'll all come into... Everything connects up nicely before the end of this episode. You weren't really sure why Megatron was so intent on getting hold of this car, but yes, there's a lot of fighting between the Autobots, and again, as I said earlier on, you know, continuity and characters getting damaged, perhaps to the point of dying isn't a major thing in season 1 and 2. It didn't change until Transformers the movie. But yes, the Stunticons take out Wheeljack and quite a few of the other Autobots, Sunstreaker, just sideswipe, these guys are left that they could be taken out of the series and never heard from again. But yes, it's a cartoon at the end of the day. While trying to evade the Stunticons, Blue Streak stumbles across Professor Terranova after helping Megatron find this Pearl of Bahudin. He manages to escape and get away, and he finds... Where am I at? I wrote down some notes for this. He finds Blue Streak anyway, and he tells him what Megatron's up to. The Pearl of Bahudin is a powerful jewel that can cause worldwide disaster, and the 3 remaining Autobots regroup along with Augie. He turns up to help him. During the race, after his car is stolen, he gets into one of the Autobots, Blue Streak, and finishes the race by driving him. But the Blue Streak, Trax, and Bumblebee, they're all nose by nose going over the finishing line. Augie's in there as well, so there are 4 winners essentially in this race. Augie insists on going with them to get his car back, and they speed through the finishing line, winning the race. The race announcer eagerly anticipates their return for an interview. They keep right on going to the Decepticon camp. Trax, Bumblebee, and Blue Streak locate the Decepticons as Megatron finds the Pearl of Bahudin. Megatron reveals to the Autobots that the content of the Pearl is in fact the power core of a weather satellite from Cybertron that crashed on Earth millions of years ago. Unearthed and exposed to the atmosphere in the 14th century, its power caused terrible storms that threatened to destroy the entire planet until a Persian seer encased it in a golden bejeweled shell. Using parts from Augie's car, Megatron plans to build a device that will utilise the jewel's power to control the elements and the rain destruction down on anyone who stands in his way. So he wants to turn the entire atmosphere of the planet into a weapon to control everybody. The Autobots are attacked, though Bumblebee snatches the Pearl from Megatron. Seeing that they are outnumbered and outgunned, Bumblebee opens the Pearl. Last ditch attempt there, pinned down by laser fire. There's nothing left but to break open the shell of the jewel and release the power core inside it. And of course that starts this massive storm that threatens to destroy the planet if this power core isn't contained. Megatron then orders a retreat, saying that they can watch from the safety of their home base while the Earth is destroyed with the core's power. They leave behind Menasor, who proves to be more than a match for the 3 smaller Autobots. Augie jumps into his car, takes off. They think, okay, this guy's turned his back on us again. Surprise, surprise, he's an ass. But his car returns and shoots off the edge of a cliff as he jumps out to safety and bashes Menasor in the face, knocks him out, and Bumblebee gets himself sucked up into this tornado to look for the power core, and he finds it up there and he takes a shot at it, destroys it. Now with the power core gone, the storm can no longer has a source of power, so it dissipates very quickly. Things calm down. The Autobots conclude that Megatron must have set up the race at the beginning to snag Augie's car, meaning that there's no prize money for anyone. And Augie remarks that he should take the gold casing of the jewel's payment for his destroyed car, but instead he gives that to the Autobots, the casing that was keeping the power core's energy enclosed. He gives it to the Autobots to sell for charity, and before walking off with a grudging farewell. Meanwhile, the race announcer is still waiting for the interview with the winners, but everyone else has gone home and he's on his own. That ending scene is very familiar to me from something else, but I can't put my finger on it. this race announcer. I want to say it was could have been one of the Herbie movies, Disney's Herbies. Maybe one of them actually. I have no idea. Anyway, this episode, pretty good. I did enjoy it, although there was no Optimus Prime in this one. The legend, the man himself. Love Optimus Prime as a character, and yes, absolutely no sign of him other than in reference in this episode. But again, it was very, very good episode. Some good moments from Megatron on here, I have to say. Good show. I'm enjoying it. Going to get as many more of these reviews done as we can now that I'm off for some holidays. So guys, stay safe, and I'll talk to you in the next one.